Hey guys, once again I'm bringing to you another voice only video. Why I only do voice only? It's not the fact, no, I don't only do voice only always. Like, it's just because I'm on vacation, I do use voice only. I don't really want to show you where the hell like the hotel I'm staying at, like the balcony. I do not want, that's just, no, I don't want to show people that at all. I showed you NASCAR Speed Park. I showed you Hollywood Car Museum. That's all. I'm only going to show you those things, the racing related stuff. That's it. But the news I'm about to bring you is not funny at all. It's pretty upsetting, actually, to me. I knew this guy. I only met him once. I only talked to him once, but still, I knew who he was. And I have his number actually too, because they gave out their number. But on Berlin Raceway, NBC Track Pass, he's mentioned me a lot, and they know my name. But it's because I'm a fan, and I text them on Track Pass and saying hi, I'm watching from this part of the Upper Midwest. Not gonna reveal what city I live in. No, I'm not gonna do that. But whatever. Anyways, I do live in the Upper Midwest, United States. But anyways, George Keane, one of the announcers, along with Matt McKenzie and Andy O'Reilly, has. Here, I need to pause for a moment. He passed away. I don't know how, but his last race he ever called was July 31st. Wait a minute, was I watching that race? Oh, that's a good question. I forgot if I was watching that race. I think the last race he ever announced, I don't know if it was, I know it was the day I got here for vacation. It's hard to say if he was there or not. I know, because I had bad internet. When I was watching the last race I watched at Berlin Raceway, was the Outlaw Late Models, the Sportsmans, the Vintage Modifieds, and the Midwest Compact series. So a bunch of different, local touring series were there, plus the weekly racing series with the Sportsmans, but, NASCAR weekly racing series. But I think he was in the hospital, but the last race was July 31st, super late models. That's the last time I ever texted them. And, I can't believe, I'm just devastated by this. I mean, the whole lesson here is, there's a lot of big lessons to learn. He was born in 1944, and George Keane passed away in 2021. About 20 hours ago, he was in the hospital. I don't think he was there for the Outlaw Late Model Sportsman VROA or Midwest Compact race. It was the last race at Berlin Raceway. Last race that I watched, which was just last Saturday, not too long ago. It's Saturday today. The race is me dedicated George Keane. What's today here? Hold on, let me look it up. Today is August 14th, so next week's the Battle at Berlin. So good things and bad things happen in this racing life. But the whole lesson here I want to say is that live life to the fullest. You never know when somebody you know will pass away. So try to not get mad at them. Try to just be happy. Don't worry. Pray to God. Go to church whenever you can. I know not everybody can go on Saturday and Sunday, especially me, now with racing. Saturday church, we'll probably have to go once in a couple weeks, or maybe on Sunday instead of Saturday, because I'm a Saturday racer. I'm making my debut on August 28th. I'm not telling you where, but I know it's durable go-kart, stock Predator class, box stock Predator class. But this video is not about me. Hell no. This video is not about me. This is about George Keane. And George Keane, I knew him. Like, by text and by probably met him once in like real life, but still I knew who he was. And the fact that I can't believe this. Last night when I heard this, I was shocked. I'm like, I didn't even know he was in the hospital. Like, I could only watch a little bit of last week's Berlin race, because my Wi-Fi was really bad. We didn't have the Wi-Fi password or we only have 4G, which is fine. You know, I he wasn't even. I don't think he was. I think he might have been announcing, but I watched a couple parts of it. But I know Scott Baker, my favorite sportsman racer, number 222, was in the lead, and then my internet cut out, so I'm like, hell with it. I guess I'll have to watch the rest later. But I forgot. I think he was in the hospital that week, but I don't know. But last race he ever covered with Matt McKenzie and Andy O'Reilly, and I think Brian Tomo was the guest. Maybe no, Brian Tomo actually wasn't because it was a super late model race. But somebody was a guest. Like sometimes drivers come and like announce with them. He also on every like Wednesday they had the mini wedges, mini cups, and the go karts. Um, Now the mini cups didn't come all the time. It was just like it's because the Great Lakes mini cups they're traveling series, so they came like a couple times. But the mini wedges were always on Wednesdays along with the go karts on mini oval. We were actually thinking about running the go karts, but I don't think there's a Wednesday go kart race in between because I don't even have asphalt oval tires because it's an asphalt oval they're gonna run on. It's a little track at Berlin, aka the little car track. Um, but go karts are something new to do this year. They're just for fun, really. The racers, they're not even running transponders. They're just having fun, like rental karts. But really, it's not rental karts. They're actual racing karts. A lot of Phantom chassis there. Phantom is the best chassis in dirt oval karting. It's the top chassis. They're really good chassis, made in China Grove, North Carolina, in the USA. 100% American made. Not made in China or Mexico, but whatever. This video is about George McKean. I keep calling him George McKean. I meant George Keane. I'm gonna probably have a decal on my durable cart that says in memory of George Keane. I know Horvath Design. I saw them post on social media that they're gonna make decals. But I just saw from I think it was Fox 17 had an article. They didn't have they might have had a video, but the last time he ever raced was in 2003 in a Sportsman. Yeah, but it's just I can't believe it happened. I'm on vacation, and it's really devastating. Now I don't know, I have a lot of mixed feelings right now. Upset, happy. Now, I'm not happy that George Keane passed at all. Hell no. I'm upset that he passed. But I'm happy because I'm on vacation and race day. So I have these weird mixed feelings. I'm really upset that he passed away, I'm not happy that he passed. I knew him. So it's just pray for George Keane. Don't pray for me at all. Pray for George Keane. Pray for George Keane. You don't have to pray for me at all. I'm not suffering at all. Pray for George Keane. Okay? He's in heaven. I really couldn't make this video today, but I wanted to. I'm gonna miss him. I mean, he was my favorite announcer. I loved his so one thing I'm proud to be from the Upper Midwest is the accent. Everybody mistakes us for being Canadian. Like if you ever watch Fargo, they have that "don't you know" and "you betcha." accent, Minnesotan accent. That's what the linguists call it. The Minnesota accent goes through all the way from southeast Michigan to Minnesota, and then Fargo, North Dakota. That's where it goes. They call it the North Central accent slash the Inland North accent. Um, but it doesn't sound Canadian at all. I mean, just a little bit, but I say about, about it. That's how about is. They say a boot and about like that. So Upper Midwest is not Canadian. The Canadian raising has nothing to do with the Upper Midwest accent. I'm not a linguist, but I just looked it up from a .org site. But anyways, whatever. This is not about accents either. This is about George King and Berlin Raceway as announcer. Anyways, but I love his accent. Like, I just love hearing it. Like, I have the same accent as him. We all do, if you're from Michigan, Wisconsin, or Minnesota, or Illinois, Chicago area, or Iowa. But I'm just gonna miss that about him. I just love how he announced stuff. He reminded me of me a little bit, how he talked. And myself, Another person who reminds me is Richard Petty. When he was a kid, and Dale Earnhardt. I don't know about maybe Dale Earnhardt, and Ken Trader, and Lauren Bush, Sokolowski, Brian Tilma, um, Joe Bush, but really, I'm just devastated. I don't know what to say about it. But just everybody, whatever you call God, whether you call him Jesus, Yahweh, Allah, it's all the same God. But all different, like, there's a lot of different beliefs of Jesus. Some, like, Islam believes it's Allah. Christianity believes it's Jesus. Judaism believes it's Yahweh, but those are just names. They're the same God, just different beliefs, that's all. But pray to him, whatever you call him, however you pray to him, just pray for George Keane. He's definitely in heaven with God right now. My theory on this is Jesus probably took his life so he could join him in heaven. And that's not a bad thing. Jesus does that sometimes. Just like, it was some 3 Portuguese kids, I forgot their names. I know one's Francisco or Francesca, something like that. Janina and Justine, something like that. The 3 kids, they passed away at age 5 and 7 because how they prayed to God so much. Jesus wanted them to join him in heaven, so he took their lives early so they can join him in heaven. Jesus works in the most mysterious ways out there, and he's not bad. Why Jesus takes lives sometimes? Because he wants you to join him early in heaven. That's why. And Lord works in the most mysterious ways. You know? But yeah, anyway, so George Keane, the race will be dedicated to him at Berlin Raceway this week. I didn't look at the schedule. I didn't forget. I know it's not, maybe it's not the Money in the Bank qualifier. That already happened with super late models, but the Money in the Bank one, sorry, not the Money in the Bank, the Ballot Berlin 1 to 50 is going to be sanctioned by the ARCA CRA Super Series and ARCA Midwest Tour. Mostly Berlin Raceway races. The Money in the Bank's more like national racers from all over the country with their super late model stock cars. But this time, it's kind of like the Icebreaker, this race. The Icebreaker was the first major Berlin Raceway race I went to. That was pretty fun, actually. It's kind of like the Icebreaker format. And yeah, so yeah, but my whole point of this video is, if you're from the racing community, whether you're an old fan, new fan, a race fan in general, whether you're a racer, the racing life is really unexpected. Whatever you are in the racing industry, racing is a sport like no other. other sports have team rival. Obviously, there's team rivalries in racing. Not race your friend, but if you notice there's fellow racers who are nice enough to help you out sometimes if you don't know what you're talking about. You know, there's always going to be at least some fellow racers will help you out. Not all of them, but just some will. Some might, some won't, but most of the time, some will. Now, when you're racing your fellow racers, they're not going to help you win the race. Nope, that's not how it goes. They might. I mean, they might. There's a slight chance. Like, they might draft you to help you out, but that's only teammates. I mean, you gotta race them, you know? I mean, they'll help you work on the car, but like, they might give you parts, but they're not gonna help you win the race. I mean, they might, but don't rely on that. It's just only some of them will. Plus, don't rely on them to help you win the race. If they're nice enough to help you, give you parts and help you work on the car, but then they're not always gonna help you win the race. You know, try to they're gonna race you still, obviously, but you'll still be friends. Don't. It's kind of hard to explain, but my whole point is racing's a sport like no other, you know. And the racing life is hard. It's not easy. Whether you're a fan, even race fans spend money. As a race fan, I've spent about $50 on a diecast, and I'm proud I did. So I spent a lot of money on diecast and T-shirts. But now that I'm like an actual real life racer, I actually have been not spending any money on that and just saving it all for real life racing. But it's not even my first race yet. But just being in the garage and putting the hours into it, and being on I was on my phone looking up different products, different things, about, you know, what to do, what to put, what not to do, with your cart and stuff. Listening to the guy Austin who sold me my cart, his tips, and yeah, so usually, please watch Track Pass if you have it, Berlin Raceway. Don't watch the Langley Speedway or Whelen Modified Tour. Watch Berlin Raceway and text Matt McKenzie and George McKean that I sent you there, if you've never watched it. You don't have to tell them that, but just say Short Track Thing sent me here. I'm not going to give you their number because that's so weird. I don't want to give, no, I'm not giving you their number at all. Because there's not everybody in the comments are weird, but there's some VOM LOL comments, and it's really dangerous spam. I don't want them VOM LOL people commenting. I know the race fans in the comments would never comment that. I trust them. But it's just a fact. Too many VOM LOL incidents. And I banned them and I removed them. But, I never clicked it, thank gosh. But I looked up what it was. What is this VOM LOL? And it says, I watched this video, the guy, and it's inappropriate, whatever. But the whole video is about George McKean. Alright, George King. I keep calling him George McKean. George King. Please pray for him. I want to end this video on a positive note about the racing life, how it's hard and not easy, is that there's good and bad. The good thing that happened is Faith Shook is finally, and she still has I don't know how her health is, but I know it's probably way better because before she had to quit racing for a while, for a couple months, because her health wasn't good. Her arthritis, I don't know what, I can't say what happened, because I'm not a doctor, but I know she has arthritis, but I'm not a doctor, so I really don't know what happened, but okay, never mind. So what happened was, it's her injuries from her wreck back in September from the Chet Championship that led her to not being able to race next year, plus her arthritis. But anyways, I'm not a doctor, I'm a race car driver making my debut, but pray for George Keane, watch Track Pass on NBCSN with Berlin Raceway tonight. Thank you, and pray to God, worship Him. God's good, God's great. The racing life is hard and not easy, and has the most unexpected moments.